We on.
Let's go.
Let's
All
go.
right.
Let's go. My name is Saul.
My name is Thomas Tui.
It's your boy Von Nix made it, man.
Von X made it.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're gonna talk about why it's important to have like-minded individuals around you, right? And the type of people you want around you should be positive people that shouldn't, I guess, hinder you in any way. They should be willing or wanting to see you see your success and see you grow and mature in your life. And those type of people that you want around. I guess some of these guys can maybe go through and explain some of their stories and journeys like that with people that they met throughout their life and how they got to a point to where they started recognizing, maybe this person that I'm surrounded by isn't for me. And then, maybe this person that I'm surrounded by is for me.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna kind of see when they got to that point.
Yes.
So maybe we can start with you, Tom. Just see maybe like, I guess growing up, what were the type of people you surrounded yourself with, and how did you realize, maybe I shouldn't have been hanging around these people, and to the point where you started getting to hang around different people where you was like, this is the type of people that I need to surround myself with.
Right. I'll start with saying that there's two people in life. There's negative people. There's positive people. At first in my life, I grew up really not being intentional with my time, and then I automatically surrounded myself around people who really weren't thinking. I like currently in life, I want to be around people who are thinkers, people who take action, who are ambitious, who are driven, who have purpose-driven lives. And when I was growing up, that's something I never did. How I identified that was over time, I had to develop a purpose within myself and my own life. And then at one point, I was able to develop the skill of identifying who was negative in my life and who was playing a good part and a bad part in my life.
What's negativity to you? Like what's some things you viewed that was like negative to where you was like, I can't be around this?
Right. Well, first of all, I was negative myself. So
Okay.
I would say a negative mindset. So just complaining with the things that are in your life and not doing anything about it. Doing negative actions, which is going to lead to a negative mindset and negative thoughts. That's what I would say the biggest thing. But at first, and even a negative worldview, just saying life is terrible, these people in my life are terrible, and not doing anything about it. That's where I was at in my life.
What's some negative actions? What's some negative actions that you've either done or experienced from other people that made you realize, like, I either just don't need to be doing this, or I don't want to be around people that's doing this stuff?
I would say procrastination. It's easy to do that in life, but people who, going back to the purpose, just taking actions that are not within their purpose. Actually, the biggest thing was, I'd say at one of my jobs, was just people who are wasting time, not doing anything with their time. They wouldn't take their time intentionally. And then also the things that they talk about in life were not important. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like, just people who would just talk about, I'm not bashing sports, but just people who would talk about sports all the time, or things that weren't involved in their life just to cover up the negative things in your life, rather than getting around a like-minded group of people who would talk about moving their life forward and doing things to create success in their life and ways to make money, and advance themselves as an individual.
I think that's important too when you said that that things that they were saying wasn't important, because I guess you can look at it both ways. Maybe what they were saying to them or this certain group was important, but to you it just didn't resonate as important.
For sure.
And that, I think, like, that's how you kind of know that I'm not in the right space. Like when people start talking about things that don't relate or correlate to anything in your life or anything that you got going on, that's when you know, like, I shouldn't be around these people, because what they talking about and the things that they're doing and the mindset they have isn't what I want to be surrounded by.
Exactly.
Saul, just for you, and listen, y'all, Saul lived a completely different life from us here. I would love to, at least see part of what he went through growing up. But, being a international person here, and stuff like that. What's some things that you've encountered or endured there in Sweden that you would say was maybe negative or?
So, well, I grew up in a very had too much discipline. I wasn't disciplined enough in the beginning, early stage. So I had always negative mind. I was fighting in school. I was always in trouble, and nobody did nothing until I moved with my father, and that's when things switched.
Did you grow up in a bad neighborhood?
Yeah, kind of bad, but not too bad. It was just that nobody had control of me. Yeah, as parents in the beginning. So I was a wild kid, and I got trouble in school. I had to switch school. That's how bad it was.
You got expelled?
Kind of, not expelled. I just had to move because it wasn't fit to be there.
Oh,
I had to change environment.
Okay.
Yeah, so I changed environment,
Uh-huh.
and so I had to be. So I went to a better community with my father.
Okay.
And my stepmom lives, and when I moved there, there was still some bad habits left. And my parents tried to occupy with me with the sports my whole life.
Yeah.
So sports is what saved me.
Okay, I see.
Yes, sports saved me because when you don't keep a kid busy, occupied, that's when they get into trouble.
Yeah, for sure.
And there was a period even then when I would move with my father that I was not occupied enough, and I started to surround myself with trouble kids.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you start by so they were smoking cigarettes. I didn't smoke. I tested it. I felt guilty. But so like they smoke cigarettes. They be throwing fireworks. I threw fireworks too.
Yeah.
And that's like what we did as like developing teams.
Yeah.
And when you keep surrounding yourself with those type of people, it's gonna end up with people who become thugs, and they rob and everything. And I got in trouble, real bad trouble, during that stage in my life.
So when did you make that mental switch? Because you said that like you were also like participating in like negative activity
Yes.
with the kids, which means that 9 times out of 10 you probably didn't see anything wrong with that at the time
Until something happened.
Okay.
And I was stealing. I was stealing. I got caught, and then I got escorted by the police officers back home. And my father opened up the door, and my little brother was there. He's probably 4 years old.
Yeah.
And it's just 2 police officers there, and I remember my father was disappointed, but I was looking at my little brother, and it was really embarrassing. Even he was so young. And the police officer said, like, you're 13, you're a very young kid, like you should do sport, keep yourself busy, and all that. And I remember this is 12 years ago.
What age was that?
I was 13. Yeah. So I after that I tried to do better and occupy myself with sports. Started to play basketball with a team.
Yep.
And that's where accountability came in, and surrounding myself with people who got the same drive, same goals. It made me excited to go from school directly to the club team, and not out on the streets and hang out with these people that have no good business with me and the way I was thinking. And back then I was thinking about you have to surround yourself with the good people. It was just automatically.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's why I kept playing sports all the time through college, and that's how I met you. Like the first thing we were talking about, I remember we were in this little living space, and when we were doing homework. Yeah, and you were sitting across the room, and we were talking, and we just found out that we got the same things, same mindset, same thing aligned with things. And then right after that, we started to schedule next time we're gonna work out at the gym. We got a membership, and we kept each other accountable. And this is 4 years ago, and so for 4 years we've been trying to get together. And all
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
All right, damn, that's crazy.
That's 4 years.
Like even thinking about that shit, like I feel like, bro, that was legit 2 years ago. Like the way I feel, it feel like 2 years ago. That was 4 years ago, and that's the thing about like time. It's just so crazy, kind of like what it teaches you in the span, right? Like I think 5 or 6 years ago, I was a senior in high school, and that shit just flew. And now I'm looking back like, damn, like it's really been 6 years.
Yeah.
I'll even say that I think it's very important just to be able to look back at how far that you came within the journey, you know, just being able to see that. I mean, you know, and not being so caught up with your problems right now, but being able to look back at the journey, be grateful for how far you've came, because it's very easy to get dwelled up on where you're at in life right now.
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna give a little story and how I knew that I have to start being very mindful and careful about certain people that I surround myself with. I remember I had a friend. This was around the time I want to say I was a sophomore at this time. Freshman year, I left my dad's house and I went to go stay with one of my friends. I just couldn't take it at my dad's no more. My mom was she was in Houston. She was staying in Houston. The only reason why I didn't go to Houston was because I didn't want to leave my high school. I was already doing very well. I already had a lot of college recruits coming and seeing me as a freshman. So for me, I was on par to getting where I wanted to be. So I'm like, it don't make no sense for me to leave. So I went to stay with, at the time, one of my friends. And for the most part, things were okay, things were cool, but it wasn't until sports came around, basketball in particular, where I started to see a little like hatred or like envy towards me because his thing was basketball, right? Like that was his thing. That was what he loved to do. Me being just a exceptional athlete, just a freak of talent, right? It kind of like overshadowed who he was on the court. And because I wasn't going to play basketball in the beginning, but then I was like, well, I don't have anything to do for, you know, the next 2 to 3 months, so I might as well, right? Like, what else am I going to do? Just like play video games? So
I would say I agree with that, because that's my story too. I didn't have anything else to do. I just followed people just playing sports my entire life. My dad was big on football. So.
Yeah, because I love football. Like football was my thing, but I had to also keep myself occupied outside of those other things outside of it. So, you know, I get on the team and I would start noticing, you know, just the way he act towards me, the way he'll like do little like smart remarks, and then what really got him frustrated was because the friend I was staying with, he was staying with his grandparents. So his granddad approached him. I remember this. He called both of us to his room, and I believe that his grandson, I'm not gonna say his name, but his grandson didn't show up for practice that day. So he called us both to the room, and then he was like, "Why wasn't you at practice? You see Von Darius, he's there, he's working hard, he's doing this, he's doing that." So he felt some type of way that his grandfather was acknowledging me and the hard work I was putting in, and he felt like he wasn't doing enough. Which, I mean, in his grandfather's case, he wasn't doing enough, you know, because you should be there, you should be working hard, you know, especially if you know that you're not super, I guess, gifted kid. You should be working twice as hard, you know, to be just exceptional. So when I really knew that we lost our friendship, I remember at the time I had a girlfriend. We were kind of falling off a little bit, but we were kind of still together, trying to work things out. So I'm not gonna say well, you know what? Actually, yeah, he had a friendship relationship with my girlfriend, and this is why I also knew that you guys shouldn't have no friendship with your girlfriend. Yeah. Right? It is what it is. But when you're young, you don't really know these things.
Of course.
So he had this small like little friendship with my girlfriend at the time. So my girl was, I guess at the time, my ex, she was angry at me because there were like women that went to my high school that was like either flirting with me, texting me, or trying to get on that with me. The thing is, she didn't find out from anybody besides him. And she was so mad at me that she exposed him, was like, yeah, he already told me that this girl be texting you and you be texting her back and then this and that. And the first thing I felt was like, damn, you betrayed me. Yeah. You betrayed me because you wanted to feel like her white knight and come to her rescue to think that maybe she would want to get with you because maybe you feel like
orbiter.
You know, it's just this weird thing, right? And that's when I realized, like, damn, like out of all my years, I never would have expected or thought that you would have done this to something so low. And that's when I understood, like, okay, obviously, you know, people like you shouldn't be surrounded in my life. And then, you know, a couple years later, he went to jail. I think he served like 2 years over, I think it's either guns or drugs or something of that sort.
Yeah.
And then it turns out, you know, I made a good decision removing that person from my life.
Yeah.
But
you dodged your bullet right there.
definitely.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just gotta allow people to show their true colors,
Of course.
and know that the true colors are actually true colors. Like, don't see something and be so delusional to think that you didn't see what you just saw,
Or that you can change it.
or yeah, exactly, or that you can change it. You can't change it.
Can't control the people.
You know, a tiger will always be a tiger.
Mm-hmm.
The stripes are gonna always be the same pattern. They're never gonna change. The orange color on the tiger is never gonna change. And that's one thing you gotta know about people. I mean, some people can change, but it doesn't mean that you should sit there and wait for that change. You gotta move on with your life and find better people more worthy of your space.
Of course.
And I feel like now, you know, I've gotten to that point in my life where, you know, I found very exceptional people that share the same stripes and patterns as me, that who I can say is more than earned their way into my space.
What do you think drove him to take those actions? Like you
Drove
said,
him to take them actions? Jealousy. Jealousy, man. Jealousy is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know,
you cannot surround yourself by people who
and it's
who's
hard.
jealous by you.
I mean, I can understand why it can be very. I mean, it's just, I guess jealousy is a natural emotion that can just take over anybody, but it's more so of like you gotta learn how to control that and move in a positive way towards it. Like when I see people like now today, when I see people that either have a life that I want or have certain things that I want, I'm not jealous. I'm not even like envy in any way. It's more of like, damn,
I should have too.
I want that.
It should fuel you to a greater life.
Yeah, it just kind of like fuels me. Like, man, it's more of like I'm more appreciative because I'm able to see that human beings actually get to this point of success in their life. Right. So they're doing me a service by showing me that it's possible. So I don't ever look at anything as a jealousy in any type of way. But you know, for the people that don't control their mind to think that way, they automatically react to that emotion, right? They just automatically jealous. They automatically want to do something to tear you down so they can feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
And
those are the ones who dye their hair blue and then go.
I mean, look, it's a lot of people that do crazy things because they just can't control their mindset. They can't control. They just can't control the negative things. They can't switch those negative habits into positive habits.
Right. Those are 2 points I want to touch on. So being able to control your mind helped me so much within developing greater habits in relationships. But I also want to say I think that jealousy comes from a lack of self-love. You know, the more you love yourself, I think the more when you look at other people succeeding in life, you're going to be like, damn, that's what I want for my life. You know, it's going to fuel me to become a greater person and just take actions to attain that life, you know, because it's all about perspective in life. You know, if your perspective is, oh, he has that, you know, screw him, or, you know, you don't want the best for that person. You know, that I think that comes from a lack of self-love. But when I was able to develop my own self-love, my perspective completely changed, not just on jealousy, but also in life, you know.
And going back to the root question, like why having what was it,
like-minded people, around you.
Exactly, it's to keep you accountable. For example, when you're in a team, we all moving together. Like if one person is slacking on the field, it's gonna affect the whole team.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like your responsibility, because if you're good, I'll be good.
Yep.
If
friendly
I'm good, you'll be good.
competition.
Exactly, and it's good to have the friendly competition. That's why we be pushing, we be emotional, very passionate when we lift and when we practice. When somebody do something run the wrong routes. Like I had my teammates screaming at me for running the wrong route. I've been screaming at teammates for not knowing the playbook. And it is not because I hate you.
I was gonna say, if you're living in a house, like we're all living in a house, you know, I
Exactly.
wake up at 6 a.m. and you wake up at 7 a.m. or reverse it, like I wake up at 7 a.m. He's woke up at 5 a.m. grinding. He's already working out. He's getting to reading. He's working on his content. Same with Vaughn. You know, I'm gonna be compelled to I'm gonna be feeling ashamed, and I want to get to where they're at. You know, but it's a friendly competition rather than being jealous. Oh, I hate you for. Oh, you're not worth it. You know, it's all about, you know, having those people in your life that are gonna push you forward.
Exactly.
Going back to what you were talking about, it's so important to have people in your life like-minded, on the same purpose that you have, on the same route, and just on the same mission that you want for your life.
Exactly. Like if we, for example, I would like you to say like, oh Sal, you haven't been posting too much this week. Is that what's going on? And then whatever excuse I come up with, you gotta tell me do better.
Of course.
Like that's you
standards within a relationship.
Exactly. You gotta have the standards, and you gotta be able to actually tell your friend what they need to hear and not what they want to hear. Yeah, you tell your girlfriend what she want to hear, but you don't tell your friends that. So that's totally.
Women fall in love with lies, and men fall in love with looks. Is that what it is? Something along those lines.
With fantasy.
Men fall in love with what they see. Women fall in love with what they hear.
Yup. Yeah. There you go.
Okay, well, shit, we're gonna end it up with just a few more words. Pretty much, guys, I think to sum everything up that we've said, it would be to find people like-minded, positive, driven, right? And you want to find people that want to get to very important places in life. You don't want to be either content or surrounded by people that don't want good in their life. You want to be around people who's passionate about something that maybe you wish to seek one day.
Ambitious.
Yeah, gotta be ambitious. So keep driving, keep pushing. Find those people. There's enough people for everybody.
Yes.
You know, find those people and share and build a beautiful connection with those people and go to the top with those people.
And make sure that these people want to see you succeed, but also make sure that you are also the one who can make sure that you want to see other people succeed, because it's a give and take. Always.
Yeah, and I'll just say,
balance.
Keep having that drive. Stay ambitious. Don't be content with where you're at. The income that you have, the girlfriend that you have, the life that you have, or the job that you have. Never stay content, because content is what kills everybody in this life. You know, you don't want to be an average people. I'm putting these people around me because I know that they're driven, they're ambitious, and that, you know, it's a benefit for their life and it's a benefit for my life. You know, the last thing I will say is also finding relationships that provide value, not just for yourself, but for the other people as well. You know, and I appreciate you guys.
Of course, man.
You know,
of course, man.
I was able to find Sam in the gym. We met at Crunch, and then that's how I met Vaughn. So
hell yeah, man. Look, small world, but it's enough people out here for everybody, right? So just find your people and go to the top. Don't stay content, like Tom said, and you're gonna be good. All right. So we're gonna catch y'all on the next video.
scarcity creates value.
Peace, man.
Hey.